Welcome to YAS Stripper Podcast. On this podcast, we'll talk about how classifying ourselves as workers is dangerous to society and marginalized people. We will also talk about the climate in and out of the club and all of the amazing things that sex workers do, and everything else in between. This is Daisy Ducati with YAS Stripper Podcast. So in today's episode of YAS Stripper Podcast, I speak with Agatha Delicious, who is one of my favorite adult performers, and she's kind of a jack of all trades. She produces and stars in niche fetish content. She has been a dancer for quite a while. And we discuss what it's like to dance in Vegas and how that's different from dancing in places like San Francisco and Oregon, and how to hustle in the different places. Also, we get into what it's like to create niche fetish content and to cultivate a certain following for really specific fetishes, and how much work is involved with creating custom content. And I'm really excited about this conversation with Agatha. I hope you guys adore Agatha as much as I do, because she's definitely one of my favorites and a great person to travel with as well. We just recently came back from Sturgis, and we get into a little bit of discussion about how that went. It was interesting. So tune in and enjoy this conversation with Agatha Delicious. Hi, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
And first of all, what are your pronouns, Agatha?
I am she, her.
Cool. I'm really excited to talk to you today. I have had so much fun hanging out with you lately, and we just got back from a really interesting trip to Sturgis.
Can we talk about that? Like,
we can go there.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really interesting trip to Sturgis, and I have realized in my life that I can't travel with everyone. So it was really nice having you there as someone that I can travel with.
Likewise. You were one of the people that made it where I didn't want to kill myself. So thank you for that. It was just a very negative, lot of negativity.
Maybe we should just go right into talking about why Sturgis was interesting for us.
Yeah, it was just a lot of, you know what, go for it. Yeah, we can talk about it. I'll talk about it if you want. I'll be honest, it just was a lot of, there was, people creating drama that didn't need to be creating, there's drama going on that it wasn't anyone else's, it wasn't fair to everybody else. You know what I mean? It was why was everyone getting sucked into this? And some people were trying to, just do their thing, and other people were trying to make drama. And it just wasn't fair to everybody. There was that. It was a very low budget for travel expenses. We had to pay for our own food, which whatever, but it's all the little things just kept adding up. And it was just, and there were a lot of people, and I don't want to speak for other people, but a lot of other people were having their own issues with each other. And then it was just just all the negativity was just, it was just a lot. And it was a lot of people to a room, and just, and then I know that I wasn't one of the people in the van, but you were. And that sounds abusive.
The van was not cool. So for those listening, for this event, the event coordinator producer gave us the option to either fly out or to ride from Vegas in a van, which most of us were more under the impression that it would be like a party bus or a camper van type situation. And because it was a 2-day drive, and it was not. It was a church van. And apparently we were in a hurry to get there, which we were not told in advance. And so stops were limited and we had to like beg for stops to the bathroom and stops for eating. It was really like not the jam. And I definitely regretted the van choice. But we got there and we did make the best of it. And again, not everybody is a good travel buddy. There were a lot of not great travel buddies involved in this project, and we made it through. Power of friendship.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah, there were, I mean, you know, there were some things going on that were just, you know, just not making it better. But then for the most, like the girls for the most part were cool. Like the fights weren't good. Like everything was cool, but like it was just the logistics were just kind of just the way like the transportation to and from the event. It was like an hour drive back and forth from the thing. Like I get motion sickness, so for me that was so. I've decided like I have no problem with the fights. I have no problem doing the show. I think the show itself is really cool, the LFC show and everything. I don't have a problem, but I'm not going to travel for it. I'm not going to travel for it. I'm just not going to travel for it unless like I'm booking it myself. Unless I'm ever like set enough to say, you know what, I just want to do this for fun. I'm going to pay for all my own expenses, whatever, you know. Then yeah, sure, because it's fun. The fights are fun. Like the girls are cool. Like we have a good time. Like it's not.
The event
you know,
was amazing.
Yeah, like you and I had a great fight, you know, and like I had a great fight with the other girls I was with. But it's like all the other shit. It's like I like to be. I don't know about you, but I like being in control of my traveling. I like to control where I'm staying. I like privacy. I like being, you know, okay, this place is an hour. I don't want to drive an hour every day to get to this thing because I get sick. Unless I'm driving, I want to rent my own car. Like one girl, like Bella Inc. had her own car, which I think was great because she could really control her, you know.
That was so smart.
Yeah, I wish I had done that. I wish I had just rented a car and been like, you know what, Sean, like here, don't have me in a hotel. I'll keep the money and then I just stay in the car, like sleep in the car. I would have rather slept in a car, honestly, because like I can't sleep when there's people, which is no one's fault. It's just I'm very like particular, you know. Like I'm a grown woman.
There were
like
a lot of us. There were a lot of us in that hotel room.
Yeah, and we're not fucking 18 years old. Like I don't want to be in a dorm with like we're not in a sorority. We're grown women. Like we paid our dues. Like we pay we pay a lot of money to live on our own and like live our own life. And like I don't want to fucking stay in a dorm with people. I just don't. It's not fun to me. And even though I love everybody, it's not. It's just that like, you know, we want like quiet when we try to sleep, and you know everybody's, you know, that's nobody's fault. It's just. That's just how it is. So, you know what I mean? It was just like, the event itself, really fun. Honestly, like, as far as like the event part and the show we put on, I think that comes out looking cool. And like, you know, we do a good job, but it's because we all put our effort into it, you know? So I'm glad I was matched with girls that give a shit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I know there's some people that just don't train and don't give a fuck, you know, but then the ones that do.
We had a lot of home training too.
Yeah.
It was really, that part was great.
Yeah. We were lucky to have like good trainers, like, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, it was just whatever. You know, I don't want to be too much of an asshole. Like I know that people tried their best, but I think the last thing I'm going to say is I feel like if I was running an event and I was on a very limited budget, I just wouldn't travel everybody around. I'd be like, you know what, let's just shoot this at home because, you know, we just don't have the money, and that's okay. Or just say, hey, like, you know, we can do one day or so. I don't know, just figure out a way to like, so that people aren't like being tortured.
Exactly. And so you are a content producer and you do produce your own content. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I produce a lot of content, so a lot of different kinds of content, but I'd say I've been running Delish Media, which is like cannibal and vore fetish stuff. I've been running that for about, God, like maybe 6-7 years now. Like it's been a while. I started a while back. So I started out more of like a content creator. I was always like dancing. And then I kind of like did some shoots here and there, and I kind of saw what producers were doing, and I was like, I kind of want to have a little side thing in case some bullshit happens with stripping, because you never know. And look, COVID happened, so you know. So I would like, so I would kind of, you know, I get hired for like a foot tickling thing or something, And then I'd be like, I'd ask the producer, like, well, what's your site? What's your business? And they'd say, oh, I just run a clips for sale. So I was like, oh, okay, you don't have to really put anything towards it to start it. You just need to have 10 clips. It's free, basically, you know. So I started on there, and then I was like, okay, I'm making money. I can pay people, you know. So it kind of took off from there. Mainly did that and danced. Then got more and more into performing, which I enjoy. There's a lot of different aspects of fetish performing and adult performing I enjoy. And then COVID hit, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what I'm doing fully. So, you know, but you know, I also do like produce clips for myself, like, so there's like the cannibal vore stuff, which I'm behind the camera, and then for my own stuff I do like wrestling, foot jobs, foot fetish, you know, just like kind of niche fetish stuff, belly button, like, you know, all kinds of stuff, boy, girl, 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 whatever. Yeah. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like you're the same way. Like you produce your own content. You know, you do amazing stuff. So you have an amazing following, and you're just amazing in general. You're an amazing wrestler. Like you're fun to wrestle because you're really good, and like just So and you have a really cool house. So I love your house, and your man's cool too. I hope I can say that. Oh, I hope that's okay. Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. Say anything else. But yeah,
we've got to do some shooting here soon. I'm excited about that. We're talking about doing really exciting things with my hearse. I won't give away any details, but it's going to be fun.
Yes, I'm excited for that too. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So what's it like? Do you mind talking about the general area where you dance?
Oh, sure. I dance at Sapphire Gentlemen's Club, and I actually haven't been in a while because I've been mainly producing and shooting and performing. But as far as like working there, it is a great club to work. It's very lucrative. There's it brings in people with money. They've marketed towards, like, the marketing team, that it's privately owned, and the family that owns it have like a really good marketing team, and they just know how to, they've been the one club that's really stayed in business. Like you've seen other clubs come and go in Vegas. Sapphire's just stayed in business. Like they know how to market, they know how to bring in money. They make it so that you can earn good money there. Like, you know, there's just a high standard of like what customers have to pay, which is nice. And it's huge. So, you know, I enjoyed working there. I just, when COVID hit, it changed the hours around, and I like to come in early. So not like a late night person. So going in late was torture for me. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I just want to go to sleep. So, you know.
Day shift is fun, man. I am down with day shift.
Awesome. You get all the convention guys that are like, you know, they just want to go to bed early. They're not crazy. They're like nice, chill guys. Like they want to have a conversation, you know. And that's my speed. I like just chilling out and like, you know, having fun with them. And, yeah.
Yeah, I danced at Sapphire for about a week. I was just visiting Vegas at the time. And like the club was really cool. It's a beautiful space, and like it's huge and it's always packed, but I did not have much luck there. Like, I don't know if I'm just a different style, but like for some reason I just could not pull money at Sapphire.
And I find that odd because like you're gorgeous, but also you have great personality and you know how to talk to people. So I'm just surprised. But you know, one thing I did learn about working there, and I watched people, you do have to be like extremely aggressive, and like if you're like, because girls will just grab guys like right when they walk in. So I learned to like stand up there and grab. I would chase down guys, because at first I was like embarrassed to do that, but like everybody would do that. So I was like, well, the only way to make money is to like chase the guys down and then like try to get them in the back as fast as I can, you know, and like show them a tour of the place. Yeah, I mean, I never had a problem with I never had like a real issue with a girl like that was serious, but there's been some tension before when people try to like, you know how it is. Like sometimes you have a hustle going on and someone tries to come into it without asking, because they see that you're somebody that's, or whatever, you're like, you know, you're with the guy and like someone whatever, like stuff like that I would never do to someone. Like,
that was one thing that I noticed about dancing in Vegas. Like I've danced at a few different places in Vegas, and like compared to everywhere else that I've danced, it just was so intensely cutthroat. Like the girls are about their money and that's all they're there for. They're not there to make friends. They're not there to waste time, and they will snatch a guy at the door and drag him to the champagne room.
yep.
And like I think that was maybe the biggest thing that I had an issue with, because it's just not my style at all. Like I'm very friendly and bubbly, and like it was interesting to like witness that in action.
Yeah,
And
it's
like
definitely,
and just like a couple of girls, it was everybody was like that.
yeah. And like I've noticed one thing I learned there is if you're not fast, someone else will grab the guy and then they'll take them to the back and they'll just milk him for all his money. They'll keep him back there. So
Yep.
I learned to be really quick. Like if a guy came in, like I remember one time I had a friend who I brought in to work there, like nice girl and everything, but she was new to it. So she would sit and like drink with the guys. And like in Vegas, you can't really do that and make money, because it's like they'll sit there and drink with you and then they'll be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go, bye. Or, you know,
Yeah.
or they'll like, I'm good, because like now they've gotten comfortable. So they're like, I'm good. Then the next girl will come take them to the back after you've spent an hour sitting there. So I had a girl, and you know, she kept, you know, she wanted to like hang out and talk, and you know, it was very hard to like, because she was my friend, so like we'd sit there and we'd chat and stuff. But then I saw a guy come in and she had turned around for a second, and I jumped up and grabbed the guy and we went and did an hour. And I came back out and she was like, where did you go? You just disappeared. I was like, I can't sit and talk to you all day. Like, you have to be quick.
Yeah,
You can't just sit here.
I got money to
Be
make.
quick. You can't give it all away out for $20 on the floor. You can't just be like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, just, you know, it was just getting you. It's not that you were, not saying you're like that. I'm just saying like people that, you know, sometimes people that are like not used to how it works, like it's just so fast. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I guess like, so I started dancing in San Francisco, and like the hustle's a little more relaxed there. Like there's still a hustle involved, but it's a little more relaxed and a little bit slower, and like money can be made just sitting and talking without even going to the champagne room. And like I would often make hundreds and hundreds of dollars just sitting at the bar.
That's awesome.
And so like coming from that to Vegas, whereas I also did a week in Portland a few years ago.
Oh, what was that?
And
like?
it was the exact opposite of Vegas. It was
Oh, okay.
like nobody had any hustle and everybody was just hanging out, and somehow people still made money, and I did not understand that at all.
That's awesome. Wow.
And it was great because I did great in Portland because I hustled a little bit harder than everyone else, but
Right.
like it was such a laid back, like relaxed environment. It was super comfortable just to dance in.
Nice.
Yeah, I highly recommend, if you ever decide to take like a stripper trip, definitely check out Portland, because it's a fun town to dance in.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind, because I've only danced in California and here, and that's it. Because I've always been kind of like, well, I'm comfortable here, you know. And then like in San Francisco, when I was at the same places as you, I think we were at similar, like we were on the same street. I could not make money there. Didn't make any money there. I don't know. I don't know. For whatever reason, I just.
San Francisco, like it's a strange town for hustling, because I feel like from my experience of dancing there, the demographic of who will spend money is not usually what you expect. Like you see the clean cut tech guys, and they're often the time wasters in San Francisco.
Oh,
whereas
yeah.
like the guy in like dirty work clothes that looks like a construction worker maybe, or there were weed farmers that would come in with hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in their pocket because they just sold weed to the dispensaries, or the fishermen that were just getting off the boat and hadn't seen a woman in months.
Yes,
like those were the guys you had to talk
those
to.
Were the guys.
The blue collar working guys.
Yeah, the rich guys in San Francisco are assholes. Like they're weird and they're assholes, and like I know exactly what it means. They would come in and they would be like the rudest. Just they would say horrible things and not spend money. That's it. Or they grab you.
And like there was a certain demographic of dudes in San Francisco that felt like they had a fetish for humiliating strippers. Like they would come in just to talk shit and not actually dance.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, I think when you're dealing with, because that happens everywhere, because that would happen where I work too here, like at Sapphire would happen. Every once in a while you get those kind of guys, and it's like the guys that come in because like they're you know resentful, and they're like they don't put two and two together. The fact like, well, they chose to go to the strip club, so they're coming into our shit. So it's like, sorry, like if you don't like strippers, don't. If you want to get mad that we're like making money doing this, maybe go hang out at a church or go hang out at a library. I don't know. Go somewhere where we'll meet women that are like doing different jobs. Like, why are you coming in here and telling us we're bad? I'm not going into your shit and telling you you're bad. I don't care what you're doing. Go away. Just go away. If you don't like me, fine. Go away. Like that's
We're not showing up at a baseball game talking about how much we hate baseball.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'm not into baseball, and I'm not going to a baseball game. And I'm not gonna. And when someone, if I have a friend who's like all excited about a sport or whatever, I'm not gonna be all, oh, that's stupid, I don't care. I'll listen and be like, oh, okay, cool. You know, I don't want to be an asshole. Like, and I don't insult.
Or you just don't go.
Yeah, I don't go to like those kind of things because like I'll be bored. Like I just, you know, but like another thing too is like insulting our work. Like I can't tell you how many times, like right now I have an amazing guy, so I'm happy. But in the past, like I've been on dates as a stripper. I go on dates with like civilian guys. I always call like non-sex workers civilians. Like, so, and the first thing they do is insult your job. They're like, I don't go to strip clubs. Oh, I don't know why guys do that. And it's like, you're insulting my job. Like, this is a job. It's a sales job. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're not into it, like, just don't, I'm not insulting what you do. So why are you insulting me? You know?
And
so
that brings up a really interesting point. Like, a lot of people think that it's okay to talk down about the consumers of sex work. And they think that because they're not saying that the actual sex workers are bad, but they're saying that there's something inherently wrong with consumers of sex work, they think that somehow can slide. And it's not cool. Like, the consumers of sex work are normal people with normal needs, and we're helping them meet those.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I have a certain kink, I want to play it out or whatever, and I want to pay a professional to help me with that, who can really, you know, instead of going and trying to convince people who aren't into it, who are not professional, and they, you know, and going through all this bullshit, I'd rather just go to someone who can really help me, like a therapist. It's almost like it's like therapy. It is therapy. And, you know, and as fetish, you know, workers, we understand it, and we don't judge. I don't judge anybody's fetish, even some of the fetishes that I would consider like, you know, if they were played out, it could harm, you know, of course this is fantasy. So, but it's like, hey, they can't help it. They have their kink. And if they're not hurting anybody and they're just role playing it, who cares what it is, you know? So it's,
and if they find a safe and consensual way to work out that kink and enjoy themselves, then why should anyone stop them? You know?
Exactly. So that's why, you know, you know, yeah, and there's no reason to put, I mean, there's all kinds of guys that are consumers of, whether they're buying videos, buying time, whatever, all kinds of guys, you know, all ages, all types, all different levels of success, and who cares? It's, you know, like I might go to Disneyland or something, like, you know, and that's fun, and like I'm paying to have a good time, like what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like, and so people that I think get really down on anyone who's like is in that industry working, or like, you know, a consumer of it, I think it's because they're judging because they're insecure. You know what I mean? Like they're so insecure thinking about themselves wanting to do it that they're going to judge everyone else. Whereas who cares? You know, I respect my customers, all the guys that like buy customs, the guys that pay for my OnlyFans, the guys that, you know, people that see me, whatever. I have so much respect for those guys. Like, cause they are the ones that I don't take disrespectful guys. Like I won't, if someone's rude to me, I'm not gonna put up with them. But like, these are the most respectful, like awesome people. And I appreciate them, you know? And I think maybe the guys that don't know how it works, they don't understand it, they think that we look down on consumers, and we don't. And the ones that do are not professional, and they're not, if they shouldn't be doing this, honestly.
Yeah.
People that rob customers, like, you know, just it's so
started.
Yeah, it makes me mad. It's like you're making us all look bad, like these kind of girls that will rob a customer, like, you know, drug them, take all their shit. But I hate that. To me, it's like you are a service provider. You should be professional, be on time, be professional, have customer service. You know, now if the guy is rude and shitty, tear him a new asshole. I don't care. But you know, there's no reason to treat you know what I mean? It's like if someone's, you know, rude,
Yeah.
that's different, but yeah. So
Yeah, no, I definitely have more respect for someone that knows themselves and respects themselves enough to seek out the things that they need or desire and to seek it out in a safe and consensual way versus someone who represses their needs and hides from it. I think it's important to explore your own interests, you know, like, and get out there and do it and have some fun.
I agree. I think that's definitely the key. So
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And also, like, I know from my experience, I've had a lot of people come to me after the fact of either spending time with me in the champagne room or ordering customs or seeing my content online somewhere. And I've had so many people write me messages or tell me that, like, I've helped them in some way or helped them learn about themselves or helped their relationship. And like, that for me is one of the best parts of the job. And I'm sure you've had experiences like that as well.
oh yeah, definitely. When people are appreciative and you know you're helping them and you've made their day, you've, you know, made their lives better, it's a great feeling, you know. And yeah, for sure. And that's why I don't look down on people like that are, and when they're respectful, like no matter what it is, whether they're a sub or whether they like to tie people up, whatever they like to do, as long as they're respectful about it and safe and they're, you know, and they're willing to pay fair rates and they're not trying to be cheap and they're not trying to be gross or, you know, sneaky or any of this shit, you know. Yeah. That's, you know, that's all I ask for. And they're clean, you know.
I feel like the average porn is it's so simple sometimes when you boil it down. It's like there's sex or there's like some small fetish like feet, and it's just the same thing over and over, and it can feel really repetitive. Whereas when I shoot for your vore content, like, it's so fantasy involved and just so creative, and like the storylines just get so interesting to me. I love it. And the special effects. I remember last time I shot for you, you put me in a giant oven, like a turkey.
That's where everyone ends up in the oven at some point. Yeah. Or they end up in the spit cage. There's always, you know, with that fetish, there's always a lot of story involved because it's very like situational. So it's like, you know, there's always like a power play going on. So there's a lot of story. People like to have story with that. More so than like necessarily a extremely sexual act or anything, you know. So I mean, I've even had guys that, like, you know, they don't even care if there's like insertion or anything. They just want to see, they really want to see like the reaction or the you know, banter between the top and bottom, you know. So
yeah. And like, I love how much effort you put into the scene design and the set design. Like, you make so many cool props and you do it all by hand. Like, I'm thoroughly impressed with how much work goes into your content.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh man, I hope our listeners go out and check out your site, because like it's fun stuff. It's some fun stuff. It's spooky, but it's fun.
Well, if they're into weird stuff, like, you know, I mean, you know, even I mean, obviously, unless someone has the fetish, they're probably gonna be like, "What the fuck?" But I mean, there's hot girls being oiled up, so, you know.
Yeah, it's still hot.
It's like anyone can do that, yeah, like, you know. But a lot of times it's like, yeah, they're being like, there's like a bad guy and a good guy, and the good guy is bad girl and a good girl, and the good girl is being, you know, she's being taken advantage of to become dinner for the, you know, the bad character. Either that she's being tricked or, you know, coerced or whatever, and or sometimes just like knocked out, you know, or whatever, like, but it's fake, obviously. And then like she's in the pan tied up and she's being like basted, you know, and then gagged with an apple in this very like damsel in distress, like bondage-y scenario, but with like a vore element. So, you know, the bad person will be like a witch or a troll or just a plain old cannibal or whatever, you know, like just different kinds of scary type, scary, like, but it's like a cartoon. It's like Scooby-Doo,
I
actually.
love it. It is like Scooby-Doo. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And you make it so beautiful, like with all of your set design and the way you do everything. It just comes out really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
As a matter of fact, I just recently found out that you are also an artist. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah,
tell us
right.
about your art.
I am, but like I don't do it enough. I haven't been doing it enough. And like I've done in the past, I love painting, drawing, traditional art like that. And I've been all over the board with it, from like doing fetishy stuff to fantasy or just portrait, whatever, it's something that it's a really satisfying outlet, but it's very time consuming, and I have to be in the right like headspace and the right time and place. And it's hard to get back into it once you've been doing like a bunch of other stuff. So I eventually one day I want to get back into it, but it's just, and yeah, I need to get there eventually. So
you definitely have a talent for it. I've seen your art and it's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And you have such a creative mind for like fantasy scenarios, and that shows in your art as well.
Thanks. It's something, I'm sure you feel the same way, but like, because you're creative and you like art, and you like to make interesting content and stuff. So like, one thing I really want to do is like make some like really beautiful like fetish films that are like really story driven. I've done that a couple times where I've like funded some, using the platform of Delicious Media, like tried to really put some independent film elements into what I'm shooting, which gets very expensive and gets very time consuming. And when you have a huge cast of people, it's like, it's just a lot, but the outcome is, you get a better product. Now, the downside is I feel like it's really, really hard to not make a terrible movie. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, it's really hard not to make it stupid. It's so hard to make, like, it's just, it's very, like, to make a movie just good. I mean, this is why it takes months and months to film a movie, it's like, there's so many retakes. There's so, because the acting has to be, you have to really feel like it's real. People expect to feel, and if you're telling a story or using that sort of a medium to express a story or whatever, and it feels cheesy or feels like the acting is stale or whatever, it ruins it, So it's like, that's why they take so long to shoot. They do so many retakes of, people reading the script, whatever, like, whereas when you're doing a fetish film, it's like, you got one shot. That's why I just have people improv, like, but I would love to like and I wish we could do more vampire stuff, but the stupid fucking, oh, no fake blood and all these stupid rules and shit, we can't do anything cool, but like, I really want to do like
let's talk about that. Let's talk about why we can't do fake blood.
Yeah, and like
that's been frustrated with the whole time.
It's very frustrating, and like that's something that I have to explain to people, because people will sometimes be like, well, why can't you do this and that? Why can't you do this more realistic thing, or have like body parts, or chopped up? And I'm like, you have to understand, like, the minute you even have like a fake body part, which I've done before, but like I've had to put it on niche clips, or if I have like someone looking like, I've done special effects where it looks like they're beheaded, like they're a carcass lying on the table, I have to put it on niche clips. I can't sell it on Clips for Sale or any other platform, because niche clips takes Bitcoin. And I wish to God, like, the fucking whole world would just get with Bitcoin, because then we wouldn't be slaves. All you listening out there, you could have any kind of porn you wanted without any fucking rules to worry about it, and we'd be making enough money, because we wouldn't be having to deal with like we get gouged because it's so hard to sell your content, because the merchant, you have to have a merchant account, they take a big fee, Visa and MasterCard won't, like, we can't just sell through PayPal. People are like, oh, can I use PayPal? I'm like, no, you can't. People like will try to sign up for the site, for one of my sites that I run. They're like, why can't I just use PayPal? I have to use Veritel. I'm like, you can't use, I can't even get CC Bill to approve me, or even the other adult, because, oh, if someone's tied up, like, they won't approve you. Like, they don't allow bondage. It's insane. It's literally insane. Like, the only these people in the Netherlands are like the only like people with any sense, and somehow they're able to do it. But like, I can't use there's so many payment gateways. I can't, but if we could use PayPal, we'd make enough money to give these people fucking Hollywood quality porn. And then can I ask all the viewers out there, any of you out there who pirate videos, what the fuck? Can you stop? Like, do you realize, like, like, why do you do that? Because I know sometimes people will pirate, they'll like, download an entire site and put it up somewhere because they're making money doing that. They're whatever, they're crooks. I get it. Crooks are crooks, whatever. But the fans that do that, why do you do that? Like, can you just understand that, like, if you don't do that, we're going to make more money to make you more content. Like, this is why the porn industry has crashed and burned. This is one of the main reasons why, because people want to go on these tube sites. They want to take clips from some little fucking clips for sale store that's barely making any money because they're into some girl's feet, and they're going to take all her clips and upload it all onto Pornhub or onto RedTube and name it something else. And like flip the fucking logo. I mean, they've done that with my videos. There's a couple guys that hate me for some reason. They like my content, but they hate me. And like, they, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? And then this is their reason when you actually talk to these people, the people deserve to see it.
No, you put your time and your effort.
I decide
work your ass off to create that content. Yeah. You deserve to get paid for it.
Like
you go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm getting all heated now because I hope the guys out there right now who fucking uploaded The Garden, which was a very independent film style short film I did for Delish Media that cost almost 20 grand to make. Yeah, this guy, and most of my fans, no one's re-uploaded. People bought it because they knew how much I put into it. I have a really, like, I'm lucky to have a fan base for the most part that are awesome. Like, people will tell me when they find pirated shit. They'll be like, oh, I found your stuff here and there. They'll send me messages. Like, I have, like, the Campbell guys are fucking awesome. They're like really good about understanding that, like, they have a very specific niche and no big company is going to make it, like, because there's not enough of them. So they need to respect the people that are making it for them. But like, I found one guy that uploaded it and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He uploaded it on fucking motherless.com, and I had it taken down. But I was I know, I hate that. That's fucking site. Like, and it's like, okay, I don't have a problem with the site. Hey, we want to have a platform for like fake snuff, whatever. That's cool. Can people make their own fucking content instead of taking ours? How about you make your own content? It's not yours, dude. Like, you don't own the copyright. Make your own fucking content. Spend the money and time and effort to make your own fucking content, and then come back to me and tell me how people deserve to see it. Because you'll be wanting to make money back too after all the work you put in, motherfucker. So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to that guy out there if he's watching, which he probably isn't. He's probably somewhere jacking off, which there's nothing wrong with that. Please, everybody jack off all you want, but whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No,
I get a little frustrated.
No, I agree. It's infuriating because a lot of people don't understand or acknowledge how much work actually goes into creating the content. It's not just like flipping on a camera and doing things. No, there's prep involved. You have to pay other models. You have to do set design. You have to do editing, and like sometimes just the time commitment to make these things. Like, we're often not even making minimum wage if you count the time. Like, that has happened with. There's certain clips where that's happened, like where it's barely made anything back. People I put in a lot of effort, but for whatever reason, people weren't into the performer, some stupid shit, whatever. And they just didn't buy it, and I didn't expect that. I didn't know why, but they just didn't. Maybe they'd seen her a bunch of times before or whatever, and like on my site. And I mean, for whatever reason, they're not going to spend the $9.99 to support. And you know what? They shouldn't be obligated. I don't expect anyone to buy anything they don't want. I never expect that. But at the same time, it's like, if you do want it, pay for it.
Yeah, if you want it, pay for it. Don't ask someone else. Sometimes guys will ask other people, hey, do you have a copy of this or that? Or they'll trade videos. They'll be like, hey, I have this video. I'll trade you this for if you have that one. Like, they all network and do this shit, and it fucks us over so bad. And like, and it's just, it makes me so mad. And it's like, it's so expensive. And I had one guy wanting me to do a custom where he was like, oh, I want you to, dominate a guy, but blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, and he wanted to pay me, but he didn't want to pay the guy. And I was like, well, I have to hire someone for that. He's like, well, I don't want,
Yeah.
I want it to be real. I don't want you to hire. I'm like, dude, I have to have a model release and an ID. You know, I have to get the guy's consent. They require that for me to sell it on any platform.
Not gonna really eat him.
Yeah, exactly. And this wasn't a cannibal guy. It was like a face sitting guy. He wanted me to like get some guy and like fart on him or something. I'm like, okay, you know, if I'm gonna be farting on some male porn star, whatever, he's gonna want money. Like, I don't think there's anyone out here who wants me to fart on them. You know, I know there's guys that are into that, but I don't know any. So I'd have to hire a performer and I would pay him because he's working.
Yeah.
And I would have to have, like, he has to fill out a model release. The guy was like, oh, I don't want him to have to do paperwork. Just, I want it to be real and this kind of, and I'm like, I can't give you that video. It's illegal. Like, I can't.
Yeah. And you have to,
like, are you fucking stupid?
if you do end up finding a fetishist that is interested in a session, then that's a whole different deal. And it's often more expensive than booking a custom.
Oh yeah. Oh, he barely wanted to pay the custom price. You know, he was just some dumbass. I fucking blacklisted him. I was like, don't fucking talk to me. Get out of here.
Any other industry, if you ask for a personalized, custom tailored product, you expect to pay exponentially more than something off the shelf. And it's the same with porn. If you're expecting customized content that's specifically made just for you, you have to be ready to pay out of pocket for that.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, I think what happens is it's a very saturated market, and there's a lot of girls doing this for very little. They're willing to do things for 20, they'll do a custom video for 20 bucks. I mean, I've heard and these are, I know personally girls like this. They're not stupid, they're smart girls. They just don't know any better, you know? And they've come from like webcamming or something where they just don't get that, like, if you're gonna do a custom 10-minute video, no matter what it is, don't do it for like, you know, $35 or something. Like, are you kidding me? Because that's dragging down the whole industry. And you're like, I'm sorry, we're all worth more than that if we are putting in our time and effort and putting our bodies out there for people for a specific thing, for this one guy, especially if it's something that's so specific that it probably won't sell that much. Then, you know, and the good customers understand that and they're willing to pay. But you know what, like, even if we love what we do, it's still our livelihood, you know?
Exactly.
So
I respect that some people may have extra circumstances where they have to take whatever they can get, but it's important to have value of yourself and to transfer that value in the product that you sell. And it's important to charge accordingly. Yeah,
you have to have standards. And when I say, like, you know, a video, like, you know, where someone charging that low, I'm like, you know, if they're like doing masturbation, whatever, it's like, come on, like, you need to charge enough for that, you know, for yourself and for everybody else, because it brings it down for everybody. And this is what's happened. And it's people that are desperate for money, and I get it, but you know what? You should never be desperate. Set up your life. Yeah. Performers, everybody in life should set up their life, do what you can. I mean, I know there's circumstances sometimes that you just can't help it, but I think a lot of people can take control of their own destiny and just have money coming from different revenue. That's why I didn't just dance, because I was like, I want to always have something else in case this falls through. I have this. Then you're not desperate. Then you're not at the mercy of assholes who are fucking around with you. You know, then you can demand to be treated with respect. And if someone doesn't want that, then bye. I don't need your money. You know?
Exactly. So it's important to cast a wide net in this industry, especially right now with what's going on with OnlyFans. Like, it's kind of up in the air. Like, maybe they're going to change the terms of service at another time. Maybe they won't. Who knows? And so many of us have depended almost entirely on OnlyFans during the pandemic. And to know that rug can just be pulled out from under us at any time, it's important to have other income streams going simultaneously.
Definitely. That's why, like, it's good to sell on all the platforms if you can, and, you know, use different kinds of membership sites if you can, and just, you know, because OnlyFans, that was weird. It was like, and OnlyFans is great. because like it's an easy to use, well-known platform. It's, it's a great place to share stuff with your fans. I really like it. But then they drop that bomb on everybody. It's like, are you kidding? Like, I think maybe they realized that, people say it was a publicity stunt, but I don't know. I think they realized that, they're all based on porn. So all their money is coming from porn. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. I have no idea why they did that, but what can you do?
It's the OnlyFans thing is a mess, and I still don't trust that they're gonna let us stay forever. So
Yeah,
I'm making other arrangements while still trying to keep it going.
that's a smart thing to do.
That's all you can do is just cast the wide net and see what you drag back.
Want to be fabulous just like these strippers? Pay attention, it's stripper tips.
Save your money. This is something that sex workers fall into. Sex workers love to take care of people because a lot of us have emotional issues, and we end up paying for people. Don't make a fortress, be a loner. Only let in people that reciprocate. Don't fucking let people live off you. Don't get the live off of you boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, or whatever partner. Save your money. Have revenue coming in from different places all the time. Keep at it, and don't change because an agency or something tells you to. A good agency will say, hey, you're you, and we're representing you. If someone's telling you, oh, this is wrong with you and that's wrong with you, and they're fucking with your head, that's not cool, and just don't let yourself get taken advantage of by people that want to take from you, whether it's money or whatever. Run all your own shit under your own name by yourself. Please.
Yes.
Please don't collaborate with other models on the business side of things. Collaborate with other models, do trade or whatever, but like on the business side of things, have it all under your name. Don't have it under a boyfriend's name. Don't do that. Just don't. And if he loves you or she loves you or whatever, then they understand. It's yours. Don't fucking put someone else's name on your business. Like, don't do that.
I've seen so many people get screwed over that way, and like even down to model releases, like they'll shoot content with their partner and then they'll split ways, and then they won't have any model releases for that person, and they'll have to pull all the years worth of content. Like, you have to keep your business strictly business.
Yeah, it's strictly business, and I would say, and just save. Don't spend your money. Don't buy expensive shit. Unless you can, if you're but if you're trying to build up and like save money, like you don't need fancy clothes. You don't need to show off. You don't need to go to the club and show off whatever, all this bullshit. And none of it matters. None of it's real. It's all fake. All those people are fake. It's fake. All the parties that go on in the industry, whatever. I'm sure there's good people that, but all that like facade stuff, none of that matters. Just like focus. I would say, unless you're doing it because of like mental reason, don't be fucking all fucked up on drugs and alcohol all the time. Get your shit under control. Like, obviously, if you have, if you do a substance for, because you have like a mental reason to do it, you have like, a condition you need to, that's different. I'm just saying, like, people that get fucking shit faced, don't know what they did last night, like pass out drunk, like, don't be that person. Because you're going to wake up one day and realize that you just pissed away 10 years. You have no money. You have nothing. What were you doing? And every decade, it's going to get harder in this business. So keep your shit together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the advice I would give. I would say, and don't fucking waste your time with dramatic people, dramatic partners that suck all your energy, suck your money, suck your time, jealous people. I've seen good people really like, get treated like just horribly. So you just have that's all I'll say. That's it. I'll shut up now. Sorry.
I feel like a lot of times sex workers end up in like turbulent relationships because it's so hard to find a partner that can accept the sex work and accept that it's work. And I feel like a lot of us, and myself included, I've been in these situations where it's like, well, at least this person says they love me. And It's important to have enough respect for yourself to set your standards a little bit higher and to demand that whoever you're with actually not only loves you and cares about you, but respects you and respects what you do and respects your business.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. I think that's key. And yeah, that's like a good way, like respecting what you do. Like that's the important element, because if they really understand that what we do, it's our job and everything, they will respect it. If they don't take it seriously and they're, you know, resentful or whatever, then they shouldn't have like bothered, you know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, exactly. Don't waste your time on motherfuckers who aren't worth it.
Yeah, don't
you know,
just, all
like
that
in the
time,
club.
it's never gonna come back. That time's gone forever, you know? I mean, I've been in stupid relationships too, same thing, where I'm like, why did I waste time? Because I was, you know, you get comfortable, you get used to someone, you don't know what to do without them. But you know what, I will tell you, if you're in a toxic relationship and you get out of it, you're gonna be fine. Like eventually you're gonna get over it and you're gonna realize that it was a good thing to not keep trying to change someone or hope that they'll get better. Or one day maybe stop cheating or whatever, or maybe one day stop having that wife they never told you about, you know?
Yeah.
Like that, those kind of people don't change, you know? Those kind of people don't change.
Yeah.
And when something like that comes up, get out. Like if suddenly you find something out that they didn't, you know, something like that, like the minute something really like a red flag like that pops up, or any kind of red flag where they get violent, whatever, leave, just leave. It's not going to change. They're not going to change. Very unlikely. Unless like they have some kind of huge revelation, like spiritual, you know, but that's doesn't happen a lot. So
yeah, it's not worth wasting years of your own life trying to figure someone else out and help them get their shit together.
Yeah, we have enough to deal with on our own, you know, so.
It's true. So back to hustling though, if you had one piece of hustle advice, what would you say?
Oh, there's so much. I'm trying to think of one. Okay, can I say two things?
Two things.
One,
okay.
Two things. Okay, one, when you're hustling, you know, you want to always charge enough. Like, don't feel like you have to, you know, don't feel like you need to get less than what you feel like you're worth, no matter what. Number two, don't let guys waste your time who are not going to respect what you're doing. Don't, especially in the club, give them a couple minutes, you know, and you'll feel out whether they're going to spend or not, because they'll waste all your time. They don't care. They'll suck all your energy. They don't care. They either don't know any better or they just don't care. And they come into the club with their friends and they're having fun and they're just, you sit with them and you know, and if they say no, or they say, oh, I don't want to spend money, just get up and leave, because they're not going to you'll find something, you know, you'll get a sense. You'll sit with a guy, sometimes you can get a sense when they like you. Like you can almost see it in their eyes. You can see it in their body language when they get real quiet. Like when you're like, you know, stroking their ear or whatever, and they start to get real quiet and they're just like, and they just like start to look at your picture like this, and you're like, okay, this guy's into me, he's getting turned on, you know, or whatever. You just hit it off. You can read each other's body, like, you know, you'll start to get a feel for it, but just don't, because you'll be so drained and pissed off. So unless they're spending money, don't let them waste your time.
Yeah,
that's all.
One thing that's better for me than any kind of drug or caffeine or anything is that feeling of knowing that I have sexual power over someone. And once you lock onto someone and realize that they are into you and will do whatever it takes to be around you and to talk to you and hang out with you, that power is just so energizing for me. Like it just kicks me into high gear and really drives me, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
That is like, that's an awesome feeling. It turns me on. I love it. Like I love
Mhm.
I love having power over a man. It fucking turns me on.
It's
So
hot.
yeah.
It's hot. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. It has been so awesome talking to you today, and I'm so glad you joined us.
Thank you for
You're
having me.
amazing.
I appreciate it. You're amazing.
Thank you. Is there anywhere, tell us where we can find more of you, Agatha?
Okay.
Like,
Well, let's see. I wonder if I should just give all my links because there's just so much. But I don't even know exactly what. Oh, so if you go on Twitter, I had to make a new one because mine got deleted. But it's I am a delicious one. If anyone can remember that. If you type in Agatha Delicious into Google, my clip store will come up, and you can just see all my stuff on there. My OnlyFans is Agatha Delicious. That's my OnlyFans. And then the cannibal stuff and the vore stuff is delishmedia.com. So it's just delishmedia.com. Yeah, I mean, and pulptune.com is like the kind of vore damsel in distress where it's like comics, and that's pulptoon.com. So there's a lot. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if everyone can remember all this, but so yeah.
We got it. We got it.
Thank you.
Find it.
Thank you for letting me plug it. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course. You're amazing, and people deserve to see you.
Thank
They
you.
deserve
You are
to
too.
like amazing content.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate you, and we need to hang out soon. So
Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's hot tub.
yes,
Let's
that would
hot
be
tub.
nice. That would be relaxing.
Hell yeah. This has been a production of Yes, a Stripper Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Yes, a Stripper Pod, and on Instagram at Yes, a Stripper Podcast. You can also donate to us on PayPal at yesastripperpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for your continued support.